Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Hold the Mayo. We're so glad to have you guys here. And as you can see, my wife is not with me today. I have a very special guest. I'll introduce him to you in just 1 minute. But first, we need to go to our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the Gospel of Luke. And the Gospel of Luke says, Justin, I will always be stronger than you no matter what.
Really
This is a note from Luke. A note from Luke. Sorry about that. All right, guys, this is going to be a very, as you can see from our title, this is a very special Hold the Mayo episode. This is our Speed the Light episode. Now, if you've never heard of Speed the Light, let me share this with you. Speed the Light is a youth-based missions-giving organizations within the Assemblies of God. Basically, the youth ministries, the Assembly of God youth ministries from New York, Florida to California, pulled together to raise money for missionaries. Specifically, we raise money to buy things like transportation, vans, boats, airboats, all sorts of things for missionaries to reach areas that might not have ever been reached before, or to help missionaries who are in certain areas, instead of them having to walk everywhere, to have a vehicle to get where they need to go in a timely manner. And Speed the Light began probably back in 1944, when our youth director at the time, Ralph Harris, felt call from God to call our youth to start focusing on helping missionaries. As a matter of fact, his dream goal for that year was to raise $100,000. That's back in 1944, 45. That's a lot of money. And as a matter of fact, the reason why he wanted to raise that much is he wanted to help buy a plane for some missionaries. And you know what's pretty cool? They reached their goal. Matter of fact, they exceeded their goal by $13,000 that year. And since then, youth groups across the nation every year challenge themselves to raise money to help those who have been called to go overseas, those who have been called to go places that we ourselves are not called to go. It's a really cool organization. Now, the great thing about Speed of Light, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, is because the past few weeks, my district youth director, as well as some others, have been putting out some videos. A few weeks ago, they had a big unconventional movement. And so I figured, why not put together a Speed the Light video for Hold the Mayo, because it's a part of who we are. And Speed the Light is growing, just like every other ministry should grow. Speed Light's growing. And they're starting to branch out, not just to provide vehicles, but to help in other areas. You might have... if you live like in Florida where we live, you might have remembered there was a hurricane that came around a couple of years ago that devastated a big part of Florida. And there was an organization called Convoy of Hope that came in to help bring supplies and things that people needed so that they could help people. And Speed the Light has helped, through giving to Speed the Light. Speed the Light has helped sponsor and help give them and help get them to places and get the supplies they need. As well as they're now we're focusing on building wells in Africa, to helping organizations that are getting kids off the street that are caught up in sex trafficking. I mean, Speed of Light is growing into something a pretty enormous machine to help reach not just people who don't know Christ, but people who are in actual danger right now. It is pretty cool. So I want you to check out this video that I have for you. It talks a little bit more about Speed the Light, and we'll be right back with you.
Since 1944, Speed the Light has been bringing essential transportation to missionaries all around the world. This transportation has equipped our missionaries to reach millions of people who otherwise would never get to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. Thanks to the giving of Assemblies of God teenagers, over $325 million has been given towards Speed the Light. Now in our 75th year, we believe it's time to think bigger, to think unconventionally. Speed the Light is partnering with organizations across the globe to not only bring missionaries the transportation and equipment they need, but to partner with them to further the ways they bring the gospel to the lost. Organizations like Convoy of Hope that brings hope and relief after the world's biggest disasters. Free International, who daily goes into cities like Las Vegas and fights human trafficking. Chi Alpha, that brings faith into college campuses during such a critical time of students' lives. And so many more ministries that are reaching people in unconventional ways. We are so thankful for the way God has used Speed the Light over the last 75 years to equip missionaries to do what God has called them to do. And we are so excited for these new, unconventional ways God is bringing the gospel to people where they are. Whether that is a CrossFit gym in the Middle East, a cafe in Europe, a rural village in the Amazon, a college campus here in the U.S., or even the site of a natural disaster, we believe God is equipping us in unconventional ways to reach those who otherwise would never have the chance to hear. In what ways can you give and be a part of this unconventional movement? We can't do it alone. Help us speed the light to a world of darkness. The last 75 years were amazing, and we know that together, the next 75 will be even greater.
That's a pretty cool video about Speed of Light and about where they are going, the direction they're going. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this video, because I'm so excited more than ever about helping reach our goals and helping Speed of Light reach their goals, because there are so many people who are in desperate need of help, and we can help them. We might not be called to go out into the dark streets, corners of the world, but we even from the comfort of home, can help those who are called. And so I have my friend here. This is my friend Justin Freeman. He has been in my youth group for, since I've been here, he has been with me. And he is going to partner up with us with Speed of Light. But before we talk more, I let Justin talk and share about who he is, I do have one quick question for him. Justin, who's that girl?
Hey everybody, my mom was going to do a Pringles challenge today, but I love Pringles so much that I decided to step in for her. It's hard to open. Okay. watching, everyone. I will leave you with a quick word from the Bible. Jesus said in Matthew 4:4, Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread or Pringles alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Thank you for watching.
All right, and we're back. Guys, I have my friend Justin Freeman here who has been with me since I've been at the church I'm at now. This young man has been with me. He has since graduated, but luckily enough for me, he has stuck around and he has been, since he's been here, he's been a tremendous help. But the reason why I brought him here is because he is now, he is becoming our Speed the Light coordinator for our church. And so I wanted to kind of introduce him, kind of introduce him to you guys, and let y'all celebrate with us this new move for him. We're very excited, and because he's done a lot for us for Speed of Light. Like you've done what? You've done free throws, right? You've done free throws. How many did you do?
1,000 free throws.
For how much did you raise? About
$1,000.
$1,000, and then you did, of course, beginning of this year, you did what?
The 1,000 push-up challenge.
A 1,000 push-up challenge, and you raised about $1,000 again. And then like 2 weeks ago, you and a couple of your friends did
did like the 1,000 3-point challenge.
The 1,000 3-point challenge, and we raised more money through that. And so his excitement for raising money, we just said, you know what you should do? You should just be our coordinator and get our other youth involved and challenge them and help them out. And so I do want to ask you though, I want people to know you a little bit more. How old were you when you got saved?
I would say I was about 14 years old when I fully became a Christian.
Okay. And do you remember kind of what happened?
Yeah, I remember. See, like from a young age, my parents went through a bad divorce and everything. And like I struggled really bad with it for years. Well, I kind of at one point, I always believed in God, but at one point I kind of just backed away to a certain degree. But then at about the age of 14, I went to youth camp in Mariana. And God really spoke to me that day, and I decided to change my life. And ever since then, really.
Which goes to show for any youth pastors out there, youth camps are the best. So you got about 14 years old. You decided to give your life to Christ, and but I really feel like it wasn't simply you wanted to get saved. You've had a heart to serve. I mean, what is that feeling like? Just that heart to serve. Why do you feel such a drive to help people and serve?
I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of great opportunities and things you can do to really reach out to other people and connect with them. Like, I mean, even the challenges and stuff I've completed, I know it's going to a good cause and everything.
Right.
And I just want to do the best I can to help others. Great
motivation and great reason. And it's kind of where the heart of Speed of Light's all about, is that Speed of Light knew that, especially as teenagers can't go to mom and says, "Mom, I'm going to the, dark heart of Africa," or "I'm going to, the unknown territories of Iraq that won't allow Christians." They can't do that, but they can still help. And for our young people, it's not just enough to go, "Okay, Christ, come into my life and be Lord of my life." It's now that you're Lord of my life, I'm here to serve you. And so any Christian worth their salt are those who they have a list of things they've done. And again, it's not that we do things so that we can show off what we've done. It's a response to what God did for us. God gave his life for us. God sacrificed for us. So in return, we give our life to him. And when opportunities to help come, it's like we're drawn to it simply because the love of God that's in me is now wanting to come out. And so I'm very excited. I mean, like I said, he's been such a wonderful testimony. It's almost like anything we ask, from coming up here to move heavy stuff and get dirty and sweaty to getting up in front of people. I know he does not like getting up in front of people and talking, but if all they do is call Justin, "Hey, can you speak in a couple of weeks for me?" He'll be like, "Sure." And that's, hey, that's the heart of a Christian. That's the heart of Speed of Light, is simply when a need is being called out, somebody needs to step up and say, "Hey, I'll help fill that need." And that's kind of where Speed of Light comes in. And one of the needs that we're doing this year, one of the areas that our church is focusing in on is wells in Africa. And we do have a quick video for you right now to watch that kind of talks a little bit about that and what our goal is.
Water is life. Having clean drinking water is something that most of us in the United States take for granted. At the turn of a faucet, you can rinse your dishes, take a shower, and make a refreshing glass of iced tea. But imagine life without clean water, where you have to travel hours on foot in the hot sun just to find a muddy trench filled with stagnant rainwater. Insects have laid their eggs in it. Your livestock drink from it. It is diseased with animal feces and urine, but it's the best you got to bring home to your children and family. Water determines quality of life. Water is essential. Water is life. And water is the vehicle which the gospel is being spread in Africa. Over the next few years, Speed the Light has made the commitment to spread the gospel through unconventional means. We are bringing physical water along with the living water of Jesus Christ to completely transform these desperate villages in Africa. Your Speed the Light money will make it possible for World Serve to strategically dig wells just like this one next to churches. These churches then become powerful oasis centers in which water provides sanitation, restores dignity, and changes lives for all eternity. Will you help? Speed the Light is calling you, along with thousands of students across America, to end the water crisis in Africa once and for all, bringing the gospel to the most remote places so that every person may find life in Jesus Christ.
So you see that Speed the Light is not just simply about helping missionaries get vehicles and cars. It's about seeing the needs of a community. It's about seeing the needs of people. And one of the things that people need, all of us, and we as Americans, we take for granted is fresh water. I complain if my water tastes a little bleachy or whatever, or if it's a little, it doesn't look as a little clean, or if I can, every once in a while I'll drink water, I'm down a little speck of dirt at the bottom of my cup. I'm like, oh, there's dirt in my cup. I'll just dump it out and get another one. I couldn't imagine living in places where if the water was just a little less brown, it's a good day. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of an organization that sees that need. And even though I can't go over there and dig a well, I can help support the organizations that are going there. And we hope that you guys will do that same thing. We'll be willing to get out there and to support those missionaries. So I always end off with the question: what does the Bible say about all this? So what does the Bible say about giving to missions? And missions, when it comes to giving, most Christians know that we give 10%. We tithe. That's just what we do. Any good Christian, they give to their church. And that tithe, when it goes to the church, it helps support the pastor, helps support the church, and sometimes it helps support missionaries and missions. But what about giving extra, giving more? I know, when your budget is tight, when it's like, I'm having to count every penny, do I have to give to missions? I don't know what to say to that other than I would tell you that if you want to be blessed by God, then stop counting the pennies when it comes to God and give what you can. Even if it's simply $1, if you can give $1 a year to missions, hey, that's $1 more than that missionary had. In Thessalonians, I think it's Philippians. It's Philippians. Excuse me, Philippians, because he's talking about Thessalonica and Philippians. In Philippians chapter 4, he talks to Philippians, the church of Philippi, and he says that, look, I was traveling around when I was going from place to place. No church was partnering with me, but you did. And he says the fruits I gather there, I count them towards you. And so he's saying that the accomplishments, the successes I've had in these places, I give to you, church, because you were able to support me. Now, I don't know how it's going to work when it comes to heaven. I don't know what God does, but I have a feeling that God being the God of infinite wisdom, every dollar I give, every penny I give to missions, I think God can track. And it could very well be that when we're in heaven, that He's going to say, because you gave this amount of money to help these people over here, these thousands of people are going to heaven because you were willing to give. That's part of your success. And not only that, if you're afraid to give, if you're like, I don't know if I can give, Paul ends that chapter. He actually ends the book saying, like, God will supply all your needs. So don't hold back from God because you're thinking, well, I need to pay these bills, and don't hold back from God because you're thinking like, well, I don't know if I can survive without that extra $5, $10, $20, whatever. But pray and say, God, how much do you want me to give? And if He says give $5 a month, if He says give $50 a month, then be obedient and know that He will supply all your needs. He promises that. And so we want to encourage you. We're not doing this. Look, I'm going to put a website right here. You can see it right there. And that's not to me. This money does not go to me. I will not see a dime of it. This goes to our church to give to missions. And if you go to perry1ag.org/giving, and under that, when you go there, there's a drop-down box. In that drop-down box, choose Speed the Light and give. And that money does not go to me. That money goes to Speed the Light. And what it does, though, it gives credit to us so that, because we have a goal. Our goal is $10,000 by the end of this year. We're roughly around $3,000. So if you'd like to help us reach our goal by giving to that website, you're going to help us reach our goal of $10,000. We would love to see that number be hit. I was very scared that when we had to shut everything down, and we youth ministries aren't meeting together, children's ministries aren't meeting together, and we're basically doing Sunday morning services now. I was like, are we ever going to reach our goal? God is greater than this virus issue, and this could be, maybe you're listening to this for the first time, hearing about Speed Life for the first time, because God's trying to tell you, hey, I want you to be a part of this. So help us out. Go to that website, help give, and help support us. And we thank you so much for your time. Guys, if y'all get a chance, text Justin, say congratulations. He's our Speed Light coordinator. Any of our youth are watching, if you're like, hey, I want to do something this year to help raise money for Speed Light, contact Justin, and we will work with you to make sure that whatever challenge you want to do, we'll see it get done, and we'll reach our goal. I firmly believe that we can do this, guys. Nothing can stop God from doing what He wants to do. Guys, we love y'all. We're praying for y'all. If you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button, and then also hit that bell icon. That way, next time another video pops up, you'll be notified so you don't miss out. We're here every Thursday. And guys, this is Hold the Mayo.